Welcome, viewers. Thank you for joining Jaipur Dialogue USA and Jaipur Dialogue. And today we are going to talk about a remarkably, important issue arising due to some comments made by right-wing uh, Christians in America about Vivek Ramaswamy's religion, and a very unfortunate comment on Hindus and Hinduism. So there is a lady called Abby Johnson. She's a right-wing activist, probably seeking an office in the US government through election. She commented very viciously that Christians must not support Vivek Ramaswamy because he's Hindu. And she says, our God will not be mocked. And the mocking reference is done with reference to the fact that we Hindus are idol worshippers. Not only that, she also makes a comment that, and she also makes a comment that God hates those who do idol worship. Think about it from a very significant perspective. This was not the only one. There was another one earlier as well, which directly attacked Vivek's religious identity. And that's important for you and I, those who live in America, those who live in any other part of the world, and in India too, that how certain vested groups attack our religiosity or our way of life. A very simple example. To say that God hates is itself a mockery of God, is insulting God himself. And as I understand religion, Hindus have no problem with Christians. Hindus have no problem with Muslims. Hindus have no problem with anybody practicing their way of life or their faith for whatever they believe in. That's who we are. We are not a hateful faith. On the contrary, Vivek Ramaswamy drew an outstanding parallel when he talked to another very hardcore Christian, Glenn Beck, who interviewed him on his show and at a particular forum in which Vivek talked about the fact that the Judeo-Christian values and his Hindu values are almost same. So the essential element here is why the attack? Why accusing somebody of being Hindu as if it is something and an evil act? And if God is angry, then remember one thing, God created all of us. God could have made me Muhammad, made me a Muslim. He could have made me a Christian, a Jew, or whatever else, Sikh, Japanese, black, whatever. But God made me who I am, arranged for my birth in Hindu family. So aren't we all in the eyes of God, God's creation? That's what our belief system is all about. And regardless of whatever we pray to, we all go down on our knees to offer our respect to whatever we pray to, right? Here is an interesting part, a common misunderstanding that people have. And that is something for you and I Hindus to stand up and assert and say it, that we also have one God. Rest of them are all avatars or forms extraordinary, just as Christians have their own saints, their own super beings, whose pictures, whose statues, whose murtis they install in church. So there is no conflict in us about them. Let me be very clear. We have no conflict about that at all. You can pray to whoever you want, whatever you want, so for long as it gets the best out of you as a human being. That's what our belief system is. If Abby Johnson is angry that we are insulting God, that shows total ignorance. And I dare say that. Ignorance and doggedness or dogma to pursue a particular agenda. This brings out another interesting element. In America, we talk about life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness, freedom of religion. Is this lady and the likes of her extending the freedom of religion to us, to our way of life? The answer is an emphatic no. If you are telling that we as Hindus do not deserve to be who we are, that means you are not granting me the constitutional right, the moral right, the ethical right to be who I am and practice my faith the way we want to do. And believe it or not, we do not contest, condemn, or attack your faith at all. This is important to bear in mind, and this is a point that we must convey to the population at large in America or UK or Australia or anywhere else for that matter. We have no issues with anybody, whether you are a Christian, Muslim, Jew, or any faith. We have no issues with whatever you pray to. Get the best out of your belief, your inspiration. Buddha got his inspiration sitting under a tree. Was that wrong? Should he be condemned? Should Buddhists be told that, oh, you are sitting under a tree? You are following somebody who got inspiration from tree? But the tree is also created by God. And that's what is important for us to bear in mind, that religion as practiced is becoming a threat to human existence. This is my statement, that religion as practiced is becoming a threat to human existence. Because majority of the conflicts that arise on account of religious differences. And there are religious differences pushed as an agenda by certain groups of people. Vivek he's an American. He's contesting for presidential position. Whether he wins or not doesn't matter. Nobody knows. Forget about matter. Nobody knows about it as of now. The first debate is going to be happening on August 23rd. I think the world over people will watch that. Because in his style of campaigning, what I admire most is the fact that he has not said a single word against any of his opponents. Because his agenda is taking America where it deserves to move forward to. And that's why I believe he's a fabulous combination of the camp that talks about make America great again, MAGA, and he has Obama's charm to make it definitely, yes, we can, by offering solutions to the problems that afflict America today. So, for example, a few days ago, Fitch, a rating agency, lowered American rating from AAA to AA plus. Now, would it be wrong to say, make America great again is a bad slogan? Why not regain our AAA status? Why not? And Fitch gave this ratings based on certain considerations that the dollar was going weaker, or for the matter that the debt is creating and the interest burden is creating a very serious problem for America. That is something that we all know. So if somebody pitches for that, does it have any religious intonation to it? Hardly. On the contrary, it has real political, economic, and social implications for a country like America. America leads the world because everybody wants to come to America and be like an American. Live an American life, the American dream. That's what Vivek is trying to tell people, the millennials that he represents, the first millennial to contest the presidential election. That's important. And this lady also commented upon that he speaks well and is charismatic like Obama, as if that was a disqualification, as if he's deceiving people by being somewhat like Obama in terms of his appeal to people, because he's appealing to everybody, every American. He has already said it is not about Democrats and Republicans. It is about America. And that's what the thing that he's bringing to the table. So, ladies and gentlemen, as you watch this and you listen to this, think about the attacks that politics creates from all angles. This is just the beginning. The show will go on. And Vivek is not going to disappear because he's rising in the polls. He's almost tied or come close to DeSantis. What will happen eventually, we do not know. But what we do know, that at the human level, Vivek Ramaswamy is filling the hole in the heart of many Americans because there is a gap. People are confused. Nobody knows what's happening. You know, the law is being used very selectively. So what suits me is okay. What doesn't suit me is not okay. Law doesn't treat people like that. Law has a blind on its eyes. The law is not supposed to be blind. It has to have a blindfold on the eyes. It doesn't mean it doesn't see. It also means it has to visualize. So, ladies and gentlemen, as the attacks on Vivek Ramaswamy mount, and it will come from many other religious groups as well, because you know, and I know, and everybody knows, we practice our faith in a remarkably universal way. There is truth in ours. And as I always say, it's a very interesting coincidence that I always end my show with an appeal that Satyameva Jayate, the truth must triumph. And very interestingly, Vivek's campaign thing is truth, about truth. And you know, just yesterday, he did a press conference. We can handle the truth. That's important. Majority of the time, people say, no, truth hurts. So we become politically correct. But do you realize what happens when we become politically correct? We begin to deceive ourselves because then we are not telling the truth. Tell the truth, say it nicely. Everybody listens to the truth because they all want to face their problems. And the problems can't be faced if we do not confront the truth the way it is. Is that the reason why we haven't won the war on terror? Is that the reason that we haven't won war on drugs? Is that the reason that we don't have a comprehensive immigration reform done yet? Think about it. Every single problem has a solution. And the solution can be only met if we are truthful. And God only wants to inspire us to confront truth and deal with the issues. So with these words, I want to say, please like, subscribe, and support our channel. And as I always end by saying, Satyameva Jayate, truth must triumph.